Hello, family. Welcome to Adesina Intelligence. My name is Opeyemi Adesina. I'm the founder of Adesina Assets. And sincerely, I want to say thank you for the opportunity to impact you every time through our investments and our sessions such as this. Right? It's something we do not take for granted. And this is a new week, and we're happy to have you here once again. All right. On today's episode, we'll be talking about something really interesting and something I believe that you find really educative and informing, right? And most importantly, actually, I would prefer to use the word transformational because what's the essence of what you've learned that you cannot apply? Or what's the essence of what you've learned that you've applied that leaves little to no change in you as a person? All right. And we'll be talking about a topic that is so dear to my heart, especially being that it's from my observation and from the questions I've gotten from people in recent times as regards the new economic environment we find ourselves, right? So the topic for today is how to thrive in a new financial environment. How to thrive in a new financial environment. I use the word new intentionally. I believe that journalistic speaking, the word challenging would have been preferred. But using the word challenging means I've concluded that there's challenges. And somehow it might just make us act in line with that definition of saying it's challenging. For example, when you hear that something is challenging, you approach it as something that is hard. You approach it as something that might have dangers. So you are cautious, you are fearful, and things like that. But when you see it as something that is new, it puts you in the decision-making seat. That is, it's neutral. Whatever comes with it is neutral. I determine how it affects me. I determine how I respond to it. But once I say that it's challenging, that means I'm saying that it can affect me negatively. And I have to probably be reactive. But when you see it as being a new environment, then you can be proactive because you are not allowing yourself to have a preconceived thought or a preconceived observation or preconceived notion about the economic environment. So regardless of what the news says, regardless of what inflation is saying, regardless of what interest rate is saying, I would like you to just, for the few minutes you'll be spending here, to remove the word challenging from your dictionary and replace it with the word new. So when you hear that, oh, interest rate is now up to about 30-something percent, you are not saying, oh God, you are saying, okay, this is new, so what do I do? You are not saying it's challenging, you are not saying it's difficult, you are not saying, oh, how do we survive? You are not saying, where do we go from here? You are saying, okay, this is a new thing, how do we do it? What do I do? How do I respond to it? You know, I love it so much when businesses do this strategic review or when they ask the question such as, what strategic move do we employ? Things like that. It shows that they're saying that, yeah, we are in control. We are not just subjected to what the economy is saying. We are not just subjected to what the business environment is saying. We are saying, how do we respond to this? This is new. This is new. This is something we've never seen before. Now, it's just like when you give birth to a newborn baby. You know, someone gave a very interesting explanation to marriage and motherhood or parenting, that take it easy on your parents. They are also learning for the first time. They've never been parents before. So don't expect them to be perfect. Don't expect them to know what they are doing. Actually, especially if you are the firstborn, you are practically their internship period. They are learning with you. You are just the lab rat. So don't be offended. The same thing with marriage. Both of you, this except you are marrying someone who has been married before. You are both ignorant. So it will help you to be kind towards each other, right? The same thing when a new business environment or a new financial environment surfaces. Instead of you just concluding that this is a challenging thing, this is a difficult environment, why don't you see it as, okay, this thing is as new to me as I'm new to it. It responds to me based on how I respond to it. Do you get that? If you conclude that, oh, my partner is challenging, then you're going to respond to that partner as someone who is difficult to relate with, someone who is hard to deal with. But if you see it as, okay, this is a new perspective, this is a new reaction, this is a new behavior you're seeing, then you are now asking yourself, okay, How do I react to this person to get the kind of reaction I want? How do I communicate to this person to get the kind of reaction I want? Instead of you just concluding. So if you say we are in a challenging financial environment, that's you making conclusion. If you say we are in a new financial environment, that is you being open to say, okay, this is new. What do I do? This is new. How do I respond? This is new. How do I react? This is new. What plans do I put in place? This is new. What do I do to make sure I get the same result I would get if this is not happening? Right? And new can be positive, can be negative. It depends on how you respond to it. Right? So I would like us to adopt the word new instead of challenging. Right? So ride with me. We are just getting started. Right? You see, when it comes to us being in a new financial environment, it can come with a lot of things. For example, inflation rates can be crazy, like we're having in Nigeria currently. Right? Actually, not in Nigeria. Actually, it's globally. Right? US, they are complaining. The UK, they are complaining. So don't just think, oh, it's because you're in Nigeria, everybody's. Am I saying that there are no structures we can put in place to have, been able to mitigate it? But actually, if you check, majority of the countries they are trying to run to also, they might just be benefit. What you're saying now might be due to years of things that have been built. Because when you check the decisions they are also making, they are not making the best of decisions either. That's why their own citizens too are complaining, right? It's just because you've never, how did they say this thing? I've forgotten. There's a particular analogy that people give that it's always greener on the other side. Yeah, that's it. Until you get there, it's always greener on the other side, right? So what am I trying to say? When you see that, okay, this is a new financial environment, there are things that you do that keeps you immune. Or is the word immune perfect? That just makes the negative or the adverse effect less weighty on you, right? So instead of you just giving in or caving into whatever it is everybody also is complaining about, no, you are putting yourself in a position whereby you can make clear decisions, right? You can make clear decisions. You can take clear steps to making sure that you know what you are doing and you are getting what you need. Because how do I put it now? The default response of the majority of people to a new financial environment is panic, is fear, is being conservative. And once you do that, it means you are joining the masses. Right? It means you are joining the masses. So you have to ask yourself, this is new. What do I do also what new thing do I also do? Right? And this is not, I'm going to be sharing with us practical steps that we can employ, that we can take in a new financial environment. Right? And the number one, the first on my list, is that you need to be clear on your goal. You see, I said that the default response people give to a new financial environment is panic, is fear, is being conservative, is attacks on the people at the helm of affairs, is analysis, is comparison with other financial environments and things like that, which is not bad. Right? No, I'm not saying the panic can be bad, the fear can be bad, but the analysis, the comparison is not a bad thing. But it is when you analyze and then you analyze without to-do list, or you analyze with to-do list only for those at the helm of affairs, without any to-do list for you. Meanwhile, your own personal economy is still to a large extent within your control. So if you analyze what is going on in Nigeria, and all you can see is what the presidency should do better, what the government should do better, what the banks should do better, and you didn't see anything that you should do better, then you are part of the problem. Because to a large extent, you can control your personal economy. Right? Something goes wrong, you're saying, why can't my boss increase our income? Why can't the government do this? You can point fingers to see what every other person can do better, but you didn't see or you couldn't see what you can do better. That means you're part of the problem. Right? So firstly, you need to be clear on your goal. Like I said, don't respond. When you respond with fear or with panic, you are shutting down. You can't even see your goals. You can't even see what you should do. You can't even see what steps to take. You are just scared. You just want to survive. excuse me, you just want to survive. Meanwhile, the topic says how to thrive in a new financial environment. It's not just about you surviving. It's actually you thriving. Because it's new means there are new opportunities too. That's the good thing. It's new means there are new offers, there are new things you can do. There are new ways you can see things. So firstly, what's your goal? Or what was your goal before this new financial climate came up? Right? How can you realign your goal? Because if you just get into or just continue with the new financial environment without having a goal, you will just join the masses, just living day to day and just meeting ends meet without actually going in any direction. And when you don't have a goal, when you don't have a destination, every direction looks like the way. Right? If I leave my house in the morning and I have nowhere I'm going to, if I take the left or I take the right, I'm right. But when I have where I'm going to, then it has to be either I take the left or I take the right. Right? Someone would say that it's purpose before partner. That means if I don't have a purpose and I'm trying to choose a partner, then anybody can fit. But when I have a purpose, then it becomes which partner fits my purpose? What kind of partner do I need to join me on this journey to this kind of purpose? Same way. Same way. So in a new financial environment, you have to ask yourself, what's my goal? What exactly am I trying to achieve? Okay, what's my goal for this year before this thing started? I wanted to build, I wanted to have 10 million naira in assets, right? Okay, with this new financial environment, what am I earning? What's the possibility of me still being able to achieve that with my current income? You can check, okay, is it that do I need to reduce my goal or do I need to increase my income? If I need to increase my income, what do I need to do? These are practical ways, practical things you need to employ. What's my goal? Be clear on your goal. Oh, do I plan to get married before? Oh, initially I said if I want to get married, this is the amount I need to be earning every month. Right now, that amount cannot get me or cannot take care of the things you can take care of before the current inflation rate. Okay, do I postpone getting married till next year, or do I need to increase my income? Or do I need to ensure that myself and my wife have something we are doing? Or maybe before you want to live in a 5-bedroom duplex, do we need to start with a 3-bedroom duplex? You see, your goal helps you streamline your next line of action. So your action is not dependent 100% on what is happening externally. You can now take what is happening externally, subject it to your goals, and now see, how do I fit it in? How do I align it? That's why I said, if when you analyze the new financial environment, the only people you can see who need to take new decisions are the government or other institutions, external institutions, and not yourself, you are part of the problem. Because every decision you take out of panic also, it affects you, it affects your immediate family, it affects everybody around you. It affects everybody around you. One of my mentors said something that it's easy to point fingers at the government, but you also have some micro community, micro organizations you are leading. As a father, you have your family you are leading. How good is your government? As a boss, as an employer, you have a government. How good is your government? What are your citizens saying about your government? Right? If all of us sweep the front of our houses, we would have a clean community. So what's your goal? Okay, yeah, we get it. There's a new sheriff in town. But how do you merge the new rules and regulation, the new reality of the new sheriff in town to your goals, your existing goals, to your new goals? That's very crucial. That's very important. Then secondly, and let me lay emphasis on this, especially for family men, right? Especially for, someone said something. It was Olushola that said that he does not recommend two early stage entrepreneurs to get married. And I perfectly understand. Because both of you are still very much clueless, crazy, risky. It can be messy. It can be messy. Right. it can be really messy. It's either one of you, right? And why did I give that? Why did I give that example? It's because most times we trivialize survival. We do trivialize survival. We actually do trivialize survival. Meanwhile, when there's a new financial environment, what you want to prioritize is survival first. Survival, I mean, okay, can you take care of your rent first? Your feeding, your groceries, right? Making sure, okay, I have a roof over my head, I have food, right? Let's also say, you go to work, your transportation. You want to know what are the things that are primary needs. Make sure that whatever income you have right now, you don't want to risk that income to say you are taking everything to go and invest in something else. No. You want to make sure that survival is taken care of. Then you want to now say, okay, what is spare? That you can now say, okay, what can I do with this remaining income? We'll get there. But firstly, survival first. Survival first. And survival can be, this is a new financial environment. If I should base my current survival level on this current income, I'm going to probably spend everything on survival and probably it won't still be enough. Can I take a step back a little bit? Hold on. I know we are trying to make progress. But remember, sometimes if you want to put a catapult, if you want it to go further, you pull it backward more. Right? So sometimes, the fact that you know that, okay, this is a new financial environment, and you want to really put good structures in place. If I don't want to be consumed 100% by my survival, can I take a few steps backward? That is okay. I'm currently living in a 5-bedroom apartment. I can still be comfortable in a 3-bedroom apartment, and I'm paying less. I'm currently living in a place where I'm paying maybe, the center of town, where I'm paying like 10 million naira rent. I can get a place close by that I'm paying 5 million naira rent, and I will still be comfortable. Right? Now I have extra 5 million naira in my income. These are decisions you need to make. Right? Remember, the goal is that your survival first. You want to make sure that, even after surviving also, you have something spare. You don't want to say, because there's a new financial environment, you now live hand to mouth. That's why I said, don't just conclude it's challenging. Don't just conclude that there's nothing to be done. It's difficult, it's hard. Ask yourself, what decisions can I make? What strategic moves can I make also? Put yourself be in control, be in charge. Be in charge. Really be in charge. That's okay. Let me take a few steps backward. All right. I have 2 cars, and honestly, I only need 1 car. I bought that one because I could, but this financial environment, I don't need it. Remember, what we are paying attention to is survival. Can I sell one so that I can have some surplus income? These are decisions you can make. Decisions you can make. Okay, normally every month or every week, I take myself to an expensive place. Okay, can I turn it to every quarter? You will still be fine. Remember, survival first. You want to cut down excess. Right? Oh, I buy some luxury items, this and this and this and this. See, this is even before. You see, we've not even talked about you increasing your income. Survival first. Because if your survival is affected, you can't even think well. You can't be creative at your work. You can't be productive at your job. So survival needs to be taken care of first. Next in line. Now, this is now where you now ask, okay, so what do I do with my excess income? You now want to budget for opportunities only. You see, I'm not saying budget for a new car. I'm not saying budget for a new house. I'm not saying budget for... You are not budgeting for vanities. You are not budgeting for luxuries. This is a new financial environment. You are budgeting for opportunities that can now afford you to now buy the luxuries. So you are budgeting, okay, after I've taken care of my survival, can I also be putting aside this amount of money? And while I'm looking at, in every new financial environment, there are new opportunities. Is there any opportunities in oil, is there any opportunities in fuel, in energy? Is there any opportunities in real estate? Is there any opportunities in fashion, in entertainment? Because if you don't budget for opportunities, you won't be looking out for opportunities. You will be actively looking out for opportunities when you are truly budgeting for opportunities. Because you know that when you see something, you have something to harness it. You see how we take it step by step. So you're open for opportunities. You know that surely the fact that there's a new financial environment means there are new opportunities also. There are new opportunities also. So you are attentive. In fact, when you read the news, when you hear what is happening, you are sieving it to ask, okay, I've heard what you are saying, but what's the opportunity here? In fact, that should be your response to anybody telling you about the state of this country. Someone comes to you now and say, this is Nigeria, this is what is happening, this is what is happening, this is how much you are buying for now, this is how much, this is how bad this is how much you are renting this is how much you are taking loans, this is the interest rate you are getting from banks now. After you've agreed, now ask the person, so what do you think is the opportunity in all these things? If the person can't communicate any opportunity in it, move on. You should not be having conversation with that kind of person. Those are people that will, one of my mentors will say analysis paralysis. They will analyze until they will kill every creativity in you. Everything that can be productive in you will die on that table of analysis paralysis. After you've analyzed the new financial environment, the peculiarities that come with it, then ask, can there be any opportunity here? Or people also will be trying to cater to survival. So that means, can I find a way to reduce how much people spend on food? Can I find a way to reduce how much people spend on power? So can I look at opportunities in solar? Can I find a way to reduce how much people spend on transportation? This is how you look out for opportunities. This is how you look out for opportunities. Can I find a way to encourage people farming and now be their go-to person to setting up their family farm? This is how you look out for opportunities. But what if you now get the idea, but you don't have any budget for opportunities? How will you market yourself? How will you even do a prototype? How will you do a sample of what you are trying to communicate? Right. Even from these examples I've given, I believe that you can get an insight from it. Oh, businesses, how can I help them get more customers? That's opportunities. That's opportunities. Then the fourth thing, become an aggressive learner. Because it's a new environment. You've never been here. I'm not sure we've ever been in Nigeria where interest rate is over 30%. You've never been here. It is new, so you have to learn. How can I survive in such an environment? I'm not sure we've ever had inflation rate this high. So how can I survive? Don't assume you know. Learn. What are the hot markets? What are the sectors that even with this interest rate, with this inflation rate, I would still be profitable? Ask questions. Learn. Don't buy the noise. This is not the time to be listening to every junk on the street. Everybody that's something to say. Your Uber driver will say something you believe. The person next to you at work will say something you believe. The journalist will say something on TV you believe. An average person on your street says something you believe. You are now confused. That's not learning. That's feeding on junks. That's feeding on junks. Learning is being intentional with picking up books, paying for mentorship, getting into circle with intelligent conversations. That's how to learn. Asking questions from people who you know are doing better than you. Asking intelligent questions, not just anyhow questions. What do you think I should do differently in this economy? Oh, sir, what are you investing in this economy? How do you think I can partner with you in this economy? It's a new landscape. You've never been here. Learn. Become an aggressive learner. If there's something like this that has happened before in the past, if there is something like this that has happened before in the past, and someone wrote about it, someone did a documentary about it, someone did an interview about it, Find those materials and consume it. Learn. Do your own search. Do your own search. People fall victim because they just accept reality. They are not open to checking whether there's a new opportunity. They are not open to learning. They are not open to searching. They are not hungry to learn. They just accept. Okay, this is the reality. We just keep with it. We just adapt. We just don't just adapt. Thrive. The goal of this new financial environment is to help you grow, such that you are even grateful for the environment, for the new financial environment, because it has impacted you with new insight, with new knowledge. So if something like this is trying to happen again, you've grown a little bit. So the level of your panic would reduce. You've grown. Become an aggressive learner. Don't just change your mindset to just be conservative, like people will say. Oh, this is not the time to spend anyhow. This is the time to cut all expenses. This is the time to... As you are cutting excesses, you're also budgeting for opportunities. Don't be conservative. Be strategic. Don't be conservative. Be strategic. Don't just adapt. Be strategic. Don't just cut excesses. Budget for opportunities. Budget for opportunities. Don't just be reactive. Right? Don't just be reactive. Every new financial environment has its own opportunities, but you won't see it if you are not aggressively learning. You might sit with someone who has the opportunity to change your life. See, you won't be able to ask. How do I put it? You won't have the right questions to ask if you are not looking for the right things. If you are not looking for the opportunities, when you see something that looks like it, you won't even see it to the point that you are interested in asking questions. For example, I recently asked one of our bankers that what do you think we need to ask for if you are trying to buy an hotel? Why am I in a position to ask that kind of question? Because I'm looking out for opportunities in the hospitality space. That's why. Looking into some financial institution on, okay, what kind of acquisitions do you finance? I won't be in a position to ask that question if I was not looking to do a level of a multi-million-dollar deal. If you are not looking, you won't have the right questions. You can be around people that can change your life, but if you are not looking for something that will change your life, you would never see that it can change your life, and you will never be able to ask the right question that would help them to now give you the information that will change your life. That's how these things work. That's how it works. So I've given you 5 steps how to thrive in a new financial environment. Be clear on your goal. Don't quit. Don't quit on your goal. Review it. Review it, yes, but don't quit. Think of survival first. Make sure your income takes care of your survival first. Then budget for opportunities. Budget for opportunities. Become an aggressive learner. Right? Don't buy the noise. Do your own search. Grow. Don't be conservative. Be strategic. Right? And I trust that if you truly put all these things I've shared with you into action, into to-do list, right, you will discover that you can do much more with this new financial environment. Instead of just analyzing it, you can do much more. You can take advantage of opportunities that are there. Right? And you can do very well for yourself. Right? I believe you've learned something today. Thank you so much for joining week in, week out, and thank you so much for the privilege and the opportunity to actually impact you, either with our investment offers or with our sessions such as this. We are resuming Additional Intelligence Live very soon. We should do Lagos. We should do Lagos very soon. We should do Lagos, we should do Ibadan very soon. So if you're in and around Lagos or Ibadan, we should do something like that very, very soon. This month, actually. So stick around. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Adesina Co. And then so that you can get to learn more from us and get to see what we are doing. Thank you so much, family, and I'll see you some other time. Once again, my name is Adesina. Do have an amazing week ahead.